Hello, ladies, and
Hi.
welcome to Women Talk Fears. Are we ready?
We're
Yeah,
ready.
we're
Okay,
ready.
we got a slow start today. So we are three women, three stages of life, motherhood, business, and a roller coaster of laugh, lessons, and loud opinions. Usually mine's the loudest, but that's okay. Um, and we always expect eventually that this is going to turn into a true crime podcast, which means we're pointing at Keira. But again, you never know. It could be anybody in here. You just never
Yeah,
know.
we'll see how the week goes.
You never know what happens.
Yeah. It could be Nikki. We just never know because you're
Might
sweet
be
Oh,
and
the
it's
quiet.
innocent
the
one.
And things can
silent. Yeah,
happen.
it's the silent type.
It's the silent
Yeah,
ones.
never know.
That's
So,
right.
are you guys ready for the questions that I have sent you? Are you
I'm ready.
ready?
Yes,
I am
let's
ready.
hit it.
Okay. All
Hit
right.
it, hit it.
Here's what we're going to do. Today, we are going to ask some questions out. We deal with kind of mindset, messy, and fun moments. So, the first question is if your internal monologue had a Yelp review, what would it be? What would be the star rating? And what would be your worst complaint? Nikki, you're first. This may take the full half an hour, just saying.
It would probably say that I need help. Like I need therapy, probably. Yeah.
We're giving it a two.
Yeah, we're gonna give it
She's
a
getting a
two.
two. Okay, that would be your
Because
worst
my
complaint.
brain is always everywhere. It's in 25 different places. I have about 100 tabs open at one time, along with that's
I'm
just the
with you on
business
that one.
part.
I'm with you on that.
That's just the business part. And then you got mommy side of, oh, I don't need to yell. I need to be more patient. I need to do this. I need to do that. Oh, I'm being a good mom today. I'm doing this. I need to feed them. Okay, they don't like what they eat. Okay, what do I need to try next?
You need to muffle your internal voice, is what you need to do.
Yes.
The power of now. Read the power of now.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh, that's a very good comment. Oh, I like that. The
So
power.
that would be my Yelp review.
Okay, so
God, she needs
you're
therapy.
going for a two-star rating.
Yeah.
Well, that one went a lot quicker than I thought. All right, I guess we'll jump
Oh,
to
I could
Kira.
go in more detail, but we'll just stick at that.
Leaving it there. We
Uh,
don't want to go down to a one review. Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe, I mean, before this year, it probably would have been a 4.5. But over the
Ooh.
last year, it's probably a 2.5 because I've always been very confident, very positive. But I have noticed over the last year that my positivity has
Mhm.
dialed way down, the negativity has dialed up, where I'm constantly waiting on like the next shoe to drop. What's to come? And I'm not thinking, so we're constantly manifesting, right? Like that's our natural state as people. What we think is what happens around us.
Right.
And I'm noticing that because I've got that negative thought pattern going on.
Hey, you know what you think is what's going to happen,
Yeah, those are
right?
the things that are coming up. And so I would say a 2.5 because I've just been down on myself. My confidence isn't where it used to be. I'm not as positive. And so it's a work in progress and I'm getting back there. It's just
Challenges. Yeah.
through that mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get that. I think when challenges come,
Definitely.
anything that shakes us, I think it tends to do that for most of us.
Mhm.
100%. I do believe, because I've been there and done that, that if you, like, I remember waking up with anxiety over money or over this or over that, and my whole day would just kind of,
Just
That's
ruined.
exactly where it is.
it would
Like,
just resonate, that whole thing. That's
Yep.
why I tend to get up and do that running with the positive, and just kind of reframe it over and over and over and over. I had a really interesting insight. One of the books I think I'd mentioned is Abundant Ever After by Kathy Heller. So I was on, I think, a podcast or either in her class or something, and she made the comment that somehow out of all these classes I had never been chosen. All of a sudden, she asked a question, and I knew I was going to be chosen out of like 300 people on this
you
dang call.
felt it. You're like,
But
this.
it was kind of like, how do you ever get rid of fully letting go of anxiety? Because I think at some stage during the day
Feels.
or some stage during the week, I think we all have it. just a level. It doesn't need to be anything big. It can be big and small. It can be 5 minutes. It can be 10 hours. But I'm like, how do you, kind of move past that? And she made a really interesting comment. And I never thought about this before. And it really depends on your beliefs. I'm definitely a firm believer in God, faith, so on. And so is she. But her comment was, what you're feeling is anxiety that has transpired from your parents, from their relatives, from before that. So you're just carrying their anxiety. So
Yeah.
here's the deal. It's not yours. Let it go.
Generational imprint. The
Yeah.
generational imprint.
I
And
was
people
like,
don't realize that
I've
lives
never thought
inside
of
of you.
that.
I
I've
never thought of
never
Oh,
thought
that
of that.
either. Never
it,
thought of that either.
it is so
Hmm.
real. You carry the trauma of your ancestors, period. You have
I,
got to clear that out.
that was the first time I had ever heard that.
I've
Yeah.
never heard
And
that, but that's interesting though.
isn't
Yeah.
Very
it?
interesting.
But
There's
Yeah.
that
literally
she's like,
like
it's
an
not
imprint
your
on you.
anxiety. She's like, let it go. It has nothing to do with you. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm
That's one thing
pretty
that
sure it
like
has something to do with me.
no, because it's one thing my energy coach says all the time. She's like, is that how you're feeling, or is that somebody else's emotion? Is that somebody else's emotion? Because
Yeah.
number one, I'm an empath, so I can actually feel it when people are in my
Right.
home
Me too.
and they're feeling something, right?
Me too.
But
Yeah.
also, we still feel the things of the people that aren't here anymore. And
Which
so,
I never really considered it. I never even thought about it.
yeah, we have generational trauma that lives inside of us, and we have to cleanse that. We've got to do the work. And it's part of the like whole shadow work thing and all of that. And
Well, now
Mm.
I'm a big believer in like generational change. Like I know for a fact myself and my brother have stopped generational
yeah,
aspects in
Yeah.
our world
Yeah.
where our family will never know, never experience, never live it. It's done, door closed, generational change has happened. But
Yeah.
this was interesting to hear about having a feeling like anxiety is not necessarily yours,
that's right.
that it's kind of carried through. So that was interesting insight. So
Hmm.
That's
so
awesome.
every
And when
morning
all
while
else,
I'm kind of listening to that, and if I ever feel that anxiety, I'm always going, let it go. It's not mine. Move on.
yeah, I kind of do the same thing. And when all else fails, there's medication for that. So
That's so true because, like, I feel, especially even if I'm talking like with a friend and they're telling me all of their issues or what's going on in their life, I think about it for days.
and it
I'm
can
like,
attach to you.
yes. And I'm like, I
Really?
like
Yes.
I
Oh,
feel for
yes.
her so much, but it's not like I have
Not
enough of my
yours.
own to
Yeah, and you have to
deal
Yeah.
cut
with.
that off. So
Right?
there's actually this thing that you can do where you are literally cutting the ties. And I have to do this all the time. I had to do it with past clients that I've let go, where you have that emotional bond. And so you take a minute and you just close your eyes and you visualize that person, you visualize you and that person, and you literally take and cut the cord. So from like if it were an umbilical cord, right? There's a string from
Yeah.
you to them, and you literally take and cut the cord visually, and it is an
Interesting.
immediate,
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to try that
I
touch.
because
want to try that because that was the first time it was so funny too because if you know anything about Kathy Heller, she has these events, but there's thousands of people on it. I'd say hundreds, but there's thousands. And I literally knew I had dropped the question in there, and as soon as I dropped it, I'm like, ah, frick, she's gonna call on me. And sure enough. So, like I said,
but that
so
was
there
for
was
a reason though, Tammy. It was
yeah,
for a
that's what I'm
reason.
saying. That was for a reason. And even to hear Kara say she knew about it, I never even
I had no clue.
I
I've
know tangible
funny story.
generational change, but I never thought emotional generational
Yeah.
change.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
all of it. I mean, even like your money story, a lot of that is not your own. A lot of that is your ancestors' money story. That's generational. And those are just imprints on your soul. You got to clear the crap out.
Which is so funny because I grew up really poverty stricken, I would consider. So to be here now and to have a shift in money, and it seems to be that a lot of people have it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
curious,
Just this
Tammy.
whole mindset.
I'm curious because you did come from poverty. Have you had times where you noticed your mindset wane, where you lost it all and then regained it all?
Yep. 100%. And
Yeah.
in that time when I saw myself losing it or something happened, the anxiety almost took my whole body over.
Hmm.
The whole body because it
That's
was
where
almost
I've
like this
been.
place that I wasn't familiar with and I didn't like, and it was going to put me right back. to the memories of growing up in a certain way. And I'm not saying necessarily having or not having, but I think if you hear your parents or your grandparents or anybody argue about money 24/7, it's an impact.
It really
Uh,
Yeah.
is. It
so I
really is.
think reframing yourself and seeing it as a thing, and trust me, never did that with the kids. I mean, on to the other point where the boys are like, "Are we good to do this? Is everything good?" Because they've never, I was so conscious of how that made me feel. I have never brought up one word about the money aspect, not in the money aspect as far as training, there's learning. We've done those steps 100% because I want them to be
Mhm.
responsible
Right, yeah.
adults as when it comes to money. But never have they heard us say, well, we don't have the money for it. We can't do that. I don't know how we're going to do it. Whether we had it or not, they never knew
That's
because
what I
I'm
think
not
too.
going to put my shit on them. Wasn't
You
going to happen.
cannot put your money shit on your kids. You cannot. And if
100.
you do,
That's heavy. It's
it's
heavy.
awful. It is awful to do to them.
Heavy. It
That's
is
why I'm like,
really,
don't
really
talk
heavy.
about money in front of the kids. Just do not talk about money in front of
Oh, because they have that anxiety and it
the
carries
kids.
from them.
Period.
I mean, and they feel even terrible to eat. I mean, I know that there are some kids my parents can't afford, so I don't. It's just because of what they hear constantly. And I
Yep.
never, ever wanted my kids to experience. There were times where it was really, really bad. My kids had not a clue. Not a clue till 10 years later. They're like, what?
It's
We
funny.
never had an idea.
Ryan and I are so different. Like he grew up very, very differently than I grew up. And so his money story is very differently than my money
Or
story.
my husband's.
Yeah. And so he struggles more with, saying everything in front of the kids. And I'm like, no, we're not going to say everything in front of the kids. Where then I come back and I overcompensate, where I'm like, sure, you want $1,200 Ariana Grande tickets?
I
Absolutely.
know.
You can do
Yeah.
that 100%. Where he's like, we can't buy anything. We can't spend any money. No money, no money, no money. And I'm like, okay, we have to find a balance
There's
here.
got to be a
There
balance. And
has to be a balance. Yeah,
we
because we
did
both are
100%. And we kind of did the
extremely.
same thing because when I talked to my boys, it was, hey, always got your back when it comes to food and groceries. But
Mhm.
here's the deal. If you're buying anything that, they're over 20. So if you're getting any type of nicotine, if you're getting any type of beverages that are not water. If you're going out, with the guys, if you're doing that stuff is really on you. I got your back when it comes to the essentials. I'm here for you. Of course there's, if they want to go somewhere and it's a birthday weekend, something like that. But that's how we began to control it, not as a matter of we
Yep.
don't have the money, but oh, okay. And I had gotten them their first credit card to build credit, but it was a matter of them, I'd start building their credit by paying it, but then I had them get their own so they could see it, have it on their app. And then as soon as they had to pay it, boy, things changed. So
Yep.
I think it's just a transition with your kids is training and creating that balance for them, knowing what's balanced, giving them responsibility when time is due, to not grow up the same way we did, or I did at least.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
all we heard is don't talk about, the money's not there, the money's not there, the money's not there, the money's not there, the money's not. So if you hear that all the time, you're not teaching any financial because as soon as you get money and you're on your own, you're like, yeah, I got some money. I can go do some stuff
Well,
because you got
that,
money.
but also it's like teaching to be ashamed of money, where it's like, we don't talk about money. Money is not polite to talk about money. No, it's absolutely polite to talk about money. Talk about money. Have a money conversation
Mhm.
because you
That's
are
right.
Have a good
actually
conversation.
prohibiting
But it's
your
usually
child.
us as the parents who are the ones who've got to deal with it first.
That's right.
Our baggage with the money. So,
That's right.
yeah, have been at all those levels, but hopefully we're doing something okay with the kids. So, because
Yeah.
even when we're going through those struggles, to hear them say they never knew it, my husband and I just kind of looked at each other going, damn, how did they not know that? How
You
did
did
you
good,
not know
Mom. You did good.
that?
You
So
did
anyways,
good.
off the rails with that question
We
again.
did. Now tell me, Tammy, what is your Yelp review and your score?
Oh, my Yelp review would have to be, I'd say a 4, and only because I'm pretty much what you see is what you get. So there's not a lot of, and that's the other problem. I'm pretty much what you see is what you get. There's that 1%.
Uh,
So like I said, I try to be authentic. I try to give value. I feel it's faith, family, and service is where I hover. So I feel like I'm always looking for ways to improve. to help. And that doesn't mean help like, oh my gosh, I've got to help the whole world. But it is my goal to make change. It is my goal to be in businesses where I'm making a difference. It is my goal to have people in my circle where I feel I'm a value to them and that I can be there for them. It doesn't mean I need to be their best friend. It doesn't mean that they can, that we talk about everything, but it means I have a lot of people that I care about and I want to be there for. And how those relationships evolve one way or the other, you know, I just navigate through them. But I feel that if I stay on the track and be what I say I am, I'm not perfect, but I'll give myself a 4.
I like that. I like that answer. And I do
Yeah,
agree. I mean, I think, yeah, I think four is a good answer for you, actually. I think it makes sense. I think that's super fitting.
progress and work will always be a work in progress. Progress and work, work in progress.
All right, so now Nikki and I were aiming for fours. We are competing right now in our mindset.
Yes,
Like,
It'll be
we'll
fours
get
next
there.
week. We'll
We'll
be
get
there
there.
next week. All right. So we may only be able to do 2 questions. So I'm going to reach for what's the fun one? I've got 2 fun ones here. It's either going to be what's your most expensive mistake? However, we might have done this one
my
already.
children, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Or what's the
That's
weirdest
few options
compliment
for
you
that.
ever received? I think I'll go with that one. What's the weirdest? So Keira, you're up. What's the weirdest compliment you've ever received?
So I met one of my very, very, very best friends online a very long time ago. Probably, I think Kyla was maybe 3. And he is a great guy, but I will never forget our very first conversation. I had posted a picture, and in the picture, I had on these red heeled sandals that I love to this day. But he didn't compliment my shoes, he complimented my feet. And it turns out he actually does have a foot fetish.
Not
And
cute.
I'm
That was going to
listening,
be
I am
mine.
so
That was going to
sorry. But, yeah, that was he complimented my feet, and we still to this day will laugh about it whenever we talk because
be. I love that. I love that. It's the same thing. I had somebody compliment me on my feet, and I had boobs and hiney and all the other stuff. And I'm like, my
I know, I'm like
My feet.
of all the
of
things
all
my
things.
feet.
So that takes care of us. We're in the same boat. How about you, Nikki?
Oh gosh, I get this all of the time. Tammy, you're probably the same way. Is my accent.
Oh, wait a minute. Yours is stronger than mine,
They're
girl.
like, seriously, people would get on the calls with me and they're like,
You've got that true Southern belle
I'm
accent
like,
for
can we
sure.
focus here and get off of the accent thing? And it's annoying, but it's also sometimes it's very annoying. But sometimes it's like they do it in a respectful, okay, I love your accent, but okay, let's
Move on. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Signature.
Okay.
An
So
accent is
like
a
that
signature, I'm
that
telling
kind of
you.
makes my day is they acknowledge the accent, they think it's cute, they think it's, oh my gosh, I could just listen to you all day long. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
yeah, I've heard this a million times, song and dance. But they're like, okay, so I would love to talk about X, Y, and Z. And I'm like,
We've moved past it. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
well,
it
that's a good
seriously
one.
it was
It's a
seriously
great
to the
one.
point of wanting to change. Like I wish that I could change my accent because it was
No, you
so
don't.
annoying to listen to people.
Yeah, but it is really your signature. And for anybody, really, I'll tell you, there's this girl, her name's Courtney, and I love her so much. And she one day, she said to me, she said, "You sound like a phone sex operator."
I
And
have to say you have a really good voice, Kira. Like, I
You
don't know.
do.
You might have another whole career on either,
Yeah.
cartoons with that or
it made me so subconscious. I was like, "Is my voice like what's going on with
you
my
do
voice?"
have
But also,
you have a great, great voice.
there's nobody in the world that sounds like us. So it's our signature. It's what we know. So don't change your voice, girl. No.
Yeah. Okay, we got
So
phone
that would have to
operator
be
and
my
Southern Belle. There we go.
Uh,
that would have to be mine for sure. But
I like
Uh,
it. That's a
okay, so
good
that's a
one.
good one. That's better than feet. That's better than feet.
Oh, yeah, that was so, so
that
bizarre.
would creep me out.
I'm
Mm-mm.
super curious
You
if his now
did.
wife gets into the foot thing. I'm super curious about that.
I have to say, I did go on another date. It was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Mm-mm. No
Anyways,
thanks.
many moons ago. Many moons ago. So should we do another question or should we close it up? You tell me. Should we? I don't know. I think we maybe have another 2 minutes. I think so. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna do what's the most expensive mistake, but I think I've heard that one before. Maybe
That
it's
would
just in my
probably be
head.
a
But
whole episode.
yeah, I think I've heard it before. So, if your life was previously on recap, like a TV show,
Oh
where would it
God.
be this week? Oh, this is not a good question for either of you.
Housewives. I mean, Desperate Housewives. That's where we're at. Desperate
It
Housewives.
popped in my head was Yellowstone, but
I'll tell you, I actually have been watching Good Girls. And I'm kind of like, maybe that's where it is. They're robbing banks and
Oh, I love
I
that. That's
watching. Yeah,
good. I love
maybe
that.
that's where I'm at.
That's where you're at. What about you, Nikki?
Yellowstone
Nikki?
just pops in my head. Yellowstone.
Oh,
Well,
you
yeah,
could not be that girl if you tried. You couldn't be that girl if you tried.
No, that's just how my life feels.
That's just how.
It's
Oh,
always
I
something
hear
going
you.
on.
Uh,
Like
yeah.
either a husband's chasing chickens into a coop, or
yeah.
we're finding eggs everywhere, or the cows are kicking each other. I mean, it's just, and then the kids are running around like Banshee Indians, and yeah, it's just a whole
Whole thing.
episode
Usually with things going
every
on over
day.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Every day's
sense.
the
Okay, we'll go with
episode.
that. 'Cause I'm like, there's no way you could even be a portion of Beth. That's just too.
Nah,
You're
I
just too
couldn't. But
well kind for that. It wouldn't work for you there, my dear.
love to be though.
Okay, let's do some
I
training then. We'll work together on the side. No, just kidding. All
embody
right.
that, Nikki.
Yep.
So
Yep.
mine would have to be probably Scandal.
Mm.
Always fixing some type of thing.
Mm. How to get away with
So
murder?
yeah,
Ooh,
something
that
like
would
that
have been a
where
good
I'm
one too.
always, methodically planning X, Y, and Z and getting around C, D and
I
Yeah,
like that. Listen, we
that's
might
a
be
good
creating
one.
new professions over here. I don't know,
yeah. So
guys.
that's kind of where we are. Okay, so that's a good place to look at that. See, we
I
see.
love it.
Yeah. All right. So it was pretty good. All right. Easy flowing. Not no ruffles. We're good. We're good.
I like
So
it.
thank you, lady. Well, this was fun. It brightened my
Yeah,
day.
mine too. Mine too. Kira, I
All
hope it brightened
right.
yours.
It did. I feel like we're all smiling a little bit
Right.
brighter
We're
now.
trying. We're trying. Kira's got some big moves. I think husband's getting some surgery this week, so we're sending love and prayers and doing anything we can to get her to laugh.
Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Bright and early tomorrow morning. I love that. So
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
amazing. Again, ladies, always look forward to this, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
see ya.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, ladies.